Okay. So hi team, recording has been started. So let's focus on services, right? So in last session, we discussed about the services. So what did we discuss? Any idea what we discussed?
Like service holds our business logic.
Hmm. What else?
So
From service, we
it set
do
up
a
async call to your APIs.
correct asynchronous call to our API. Means
Yes,
we,
sir.
yeah, we do asynchronous call or HTTP call or API call, correct, from our service, correct? So our component, or component class, I should say, never do any kind of business logic. Component work is to take the input and give the output, or I should say the component service. Sorry, the component class. This one, the component class. The component class work is to take the input and give the output. So that is what I'm going to demonstrate you today. Okay. So first of all, what we do is let's quickly add a new components. I say ng g user. Okay. G for generate component. What is the name of the component? User. Fair enough. See, ng g component. Good. So I have my user component. Now you all know what to do. Correct. To use it, I'm just removing this prefix app hyphen. Okay, and I'm just keeping it only user, the selector name. I go to app component, and from here I say correct. Clear. Simple. Now let me add a user service. So ng service. What is the name of it? User. So one service also got created. One service also got created. Okay. And you see, service is what? Service is again, it's a class. What is service team? Again, it's a class. Do you agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's start, the business logic. So we don't have the API, or we are not taking the API today. So I will not go in that route, right? What I will do is I'll show you the business logic basically. So let's say we have, a user array, users array, right? What this method will return? It will return the list, right? It will return the list of object, right team? Understood or not?
Yes.
Return this dot users. It will return this dot users. Okay. Let's populate the users. This dot users dot push, or to do it automatically or dynamically. Let me add a for loop. Okay. That's how for loop works. Let index equals to 0. Index is lower than equals to, let's say I wanted to add 10 users. I'm just doing 10, right? And what I will do is I say this dot users. Are you able to get this or not? All of you, what I'm doing. If you say no, I will not proceed. Tell me, team. Are you able to understand what I'm doing or no?
Yeah.
Who is not able to understand what I'm doing? Please tell me. It's a humble request. I'm just making one function in my service, right? Just like you created in your C++, right? Where I'm returning a list of users. Okay, so I created one array, one list, I should say, users. There I'm pushing. Basically user like name. Name can be user plus index. So whatever is the index, user concatenated by index. Then let's say phone. Phone can also be say first. I'll keep it common. 931004042 plus index. Okay, so it will dynamically say whatever is the index, it will associate after it. Name, phone number. Tell me what next. Or user, tell me what next.
Address, mail.
I say user X, right? Plus hotmail.com. Okay. Dynamic email got or will also get created. I don't have the database, right? So I need to do something. I'm just doing the business logic over here. What else?
City, address.
Right.
City. I say sample. City. So that everything will be unique. Address I should take. City. Apartment plus index. I get some random thing. Okay. This is my user object. So now 10 times user object will get injected. Is that clear to all of you or no? Please tell me, team. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to no. All of you. All of you means all of you. Please don't put yourself on mute and sit idle and then you say okay after the recording we will check the recording once the class is done and we'll see. No, don't do that, please. Answer me now. So is it clear to all of you or not? I'll start from the bottom. So Tushar, Tanu, Shubham,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Rituraj, Noor.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like this, my user object is ready. Do you agree or not?
yes, sir.
So there's one function get user. Okay. Usually so far where we were doing all these things.
Component.ts.
Correct. Now we'll not do that. So now let's see how we can use this service in our component. Okay. So we inject it. That is why it is called injectable. We inject the service. That is why we call it injectable. Okay, and because we have this provided in root, so this will automatically be added here in the provider. Otherwise, if I remove it, for example, let's say I remove it, right? So now I have two options. One, to inject it directly in the app module here. Second option is to inject it in the component. So do you see any difference of injecting it in the component versus injecting it in the module?
When we are injecting in module, this मतलब ये सबके लिए हो रहा है, लेकिन अगर हम एक कंपोनेंट में डालें तो सिर्फ वो यूजर कंपोनेंट में जाएगा, बट अगर हम उसे ऐप मॉड्यूल डॉट टीएस
अगर मैं component में डालूंगा तो वो दूसरे component, wait. If I put it in the component, I can use it in some other component also. If I call it in module, it will be called in all the components. So using is not a problem. I can put in put in the component and still use it in some other component also. So तुम्हें क्या लगता है क्या difference होगा? Using it at the app module level versus using it at the component level. So not using it, injecting it, sorry. Yeah. Any idea? अच्छा चलो ठीक है. Do you know the concept of static classes?
Sir, a little bit.
अच्छा मैं चलो static class की तरफ नहीं जाता, मैं एक simple example बताता हूँ. Because again, you all are connected to university, college still, right? So you still have that thing in your mind. Okay, so if your professor or your teacher, right, or trainer give you the notes or have the notes, what do you do? What are the ways to use it? One, you will create a photocopy of it and use your own copy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Second way is, let's say one of you took the notes from your teacher itself, direct copy, not a copy, the original, notes, and then you are passing it from one to another. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So what is the difference here?
Yes.
If you create your own copy, so what is the benefit, or you can say not benefit, what are the points is, if you create the photocopy, then it's your copy. And you can, you can highlight, you can do doodling, you can cross, you can, highlight, whatever you want, you can do in the copy, correct? Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The other example, what I told you is, you are using the main, what do you call, notes of your teacher or professor. Now, if I have it and if I, do something there, if I, let's say highlight something, or, cross something, or overscript something, right? Or doodle something, I write something on top of the notes. Now, when I pass it on to some other, student, or to you, you will get the change. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And when you will do some change, so the other person will get the change. Yes or no?
Yes,
And
Yes,
vice
sir.
versa. I mean, and so on, not vice versa, and so on, right? So that is the difference between static class and non-static class. So static class is the one which loads only once, and whatever change you do in the static class, your entire program or all the classes or the entire project, entire program will get the same copy. If you do change, right, the other person will get the change value. If other person change, you will get the change value, correct? But the non-static classes, the instance based classes where you create object, so every object is a fresh copy. Every object is a fresh copy. Understood?
yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Let me give you one more real-time example. So if I say, you have a car. So the car is an object or a class?
Object.
Object.
Why it is object?
Sir, vehicle should
Again,
be.
Because
my
it's belong
my
to class
my mistake.
vehicles.
You guys, hold on. My mistake. So you all know about OOPS, right? You all know
Yes.
about class and object structure. Anyone
Yes.
who don't
Yes,
know?
sir.
Yes, sir. We know.
Okay. So you said object, car is an object. Why it is an object? Because it inherits or it use the feature of a class. Correct? It has the property of a class. So which means your car is from static class or non-static class.
Static class.
No, it is non-static class because let's say I have the car, you are also having the same car from the same company, right? I have let's say Mercedes. You are also having a Mercedes. Both the Mercedes are object. Both belongs to the same class, but these are two different objects. Your Mercedes may be in red color. My Mercedes can be in black color. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
But both the Mercedes are having the same feature, correct? Same property from the Mercedes class. Agree? If you wanted to go more precise, say Mercedes E-Class. So we all have, let's say, Mercedes E-Class, car, which means we all have Mercedes E-Class object. Okay, class is one, Mercedes E-Class, but we have different objects. So this is non-static class because we all have different object. We all have copy of a class, which is called object. We all have our own object. So this is non-static class example. Static class example would be, let's say some vintage car. Have you heard about vintage car?
Yes, sir.
Let's say there is 1800
Yes, sir.
century vintage Ford car, which is not there in the entire world. Only one copy, only one piece, right? So today I am riding it means no one else is having it. Now I am riding it, I am having it, I paint it with the blue color. Now when I will pass it on to someone else, so someone else will be then having only one copy, not copy, sorry, only one, that vintage Ford car, and no one else in the world is having. So he or she will get in blue color because I have painted it in a blue color. Let's say that person has painted it in red color. So someone else when get it, he'll get the red color car. Are you getting my point? Because there's only one car. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
So that is the example of static class. Same concept over here. If I put my service over here, then it will be like a static class. So all the components will share the same value. And if one component change the value in my user service, other component will get the changed value because there's only one copy. Understood? Global copy.
Yes, sir.
But if I use the user service in at component level, use means inject, not use, inject at component level, then every component, whoever is using it, will get a new copy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's use it in the component. So here I say provider. Here I will be using my user service. I have a plugin. I guess you will also be having. If you type and you select, automatically import will happen. User service got imported. First step. Second step, you have to add it in provider. Third step, first step, import user service in the component. Second step, add it into the providers. Third step, do dependency injection. Dependency injection means I'm injecting my user service into my component class. So when I do this, we call it dependency injection. When I do it in the constructor, what will happen? Just educated guess. What I mean, doing here, what is going to happen after this? I'm saying I'm injecting in the constructor. What does that mean? Team?
Sir, we are using it as a parameter.
You are defining it.
What else? Okay. So what is going to happen is, the moment you do this, it says when the constructor of user component class will instantiate or initialize, correct? That time it will make a copy of, right, user service. It will inject user service. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Understood or not? It is as good as have you bought a new SIM? Yes, of course, you all bought,
Yes.
right? So when you open that packet or open that chip, what does it mean? You are initializing your SIM. Am I right? So
Yes,
when
sir.
you activate your SIM, which means constructor start, what will happen? Some default services starts. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I'm also doing the same thing. I am basically saying that when my component class will initialize, which means constructor start, that time I want to initialize my user service. Okay, you all play game. When you start a game, it asks you some default value like player name, this name, that name, some settings, right? Default settings, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is that situation in programming? What is the situation? Basically, you are talking about parameterized constructor, right? Because you are setting the, some you're setting a game with some default value, correct? Agree or not? Okay, take one more real world example. When you purchase a car or a bike, the moment you purchase it means the constructor starts. At that time, do you go with insurance or not? Insurance service or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what does it mean? The moment a bike will get purchased, insurance service has to start. Yes or no? On that number or for that bike,
Yes, sir.
right? Your RTO, your number will get start. Your number service will get start. I mean, number plate service will get start. Your number will get registered in under RTO. Yes or no? Again, one service at the time of purchase of your bike or a car, right? Again, this oops is
Yes,
taken
sir.
from real world, and it is no longer, that should be no longer, that should not be a new thing for you, right? We have plenty of examples of oops in your real world. So this is called dependency injection. Means I have a dependency. The moment my component will start, component will initialize, component class will initialize. At that time, I want the user service also should initialize. And the way I've written is the same thing, the way you write variable, any variable. So you say user items or user list, right? You create a variable, and what you say, my class property is of any type, correct? Array of any type.
Sir, why we are using user service as private?
Because I wanted to use it. That's why I'm using it.
Sir, why don't
Let's say I
we use?
one second. let's say I create a user. Again, I'm creating one variable and or username. Just giving example, username. It is a string type. The same way if you see, I'm doing the same thing. This is my variable name, right? Variable name. And what is the type of this variable name? My user service. This variable name is of user service type, right? And why I'm using private? So that this cannot be used outside the body of class. In OOPS, you have heard about public and private, right?
Yes, sir.
Access modifiers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
same thing here.
Yes.
Okay. So now on ng init. Now again the new thing on ng init. What is this on ng init? This is one of the lifecycle hook. Again, I will take a session where I will explain you all the lifecycle hook. So this is one of the lifecycle hook. Lifecycle hook means event. Like when a component class will start, first thing first, constructor call. After constructor, your ng
Enjoy.
on init call, right? Right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
There are other lifecycle hook also which get calls in between, right? Will take a separate session for that. As of now, you understand constructor, ng on it. Like once constructor done, then ng on it will come into picture. Right? Which means your component is about to initialize. So at this time, when my component is about to initialize, I will say this dot user list is equals to, right? I say this dot my user service dot get users. Correct? I have called my get users service method. Correct? Right? Which is returning the array of any, means a list of object. And I'm receiving it at this end. Getting a point? So it's a neat and clean coding. It's a neat and clean coding. Do you agree or not? Understood or not? Let me know. All good? Team?
Yes,
So
sir.
why did we use ng on init? Mean like if, so but then yeah, ng on
The
init.
voice is big.
So actually I didn't get it this ng on init.
So ng on it is you can take it like an event. So it is one of the lifecycle hook event of your component. Once your component class load, the very first thing that called is constructor because it's a class ultimately. After constructor, there are some events or lifecycle hooks that get called one after another because your component is loading, right? So one hook would be about to load, right? Would be, one would be, init. One would be after view init. One would be change. One would be content, initialize. I mean, like this, there will be multiple events or multiple hooks for your component because your component is loading. Till the time it is not loaded completely, you will be having some 7-8 events, 7-8 hooks. Got a point? So ng on it is one of it. Your component is initializing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just 1 minute, huh? Just 1 minute. Okay, so now once I got this data from my service to my user list, which is my class property. What is this?
Class.
Properties. What kind of property is it?
User properties.
Yes, yeah, list. Now what I should do? You tell me. What exactly I should do now? Okay. What exactly I should do now? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Tell me. I have the data now. What I should do now?
So HTML.
Correct. Now I should print on HTML. So let's go to the component HTML. Right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I will create a table. In the table I put tr. In the table tr, right? Th table heading.
Yes, sir.
I say name. Next heading can be say phone. Then next heading say email. Next heading is address. Now the second tr should be the data, correct? Second tr should load the data. Now data is too much. Data is like 10 records. What I should do now? Data, what the data which is coming is a list. What I should now do now? What I should do now? I have a list to print. What I should do now?
सर bootstrap यूज करेंगे यहाँ पे raw and column.
Anyone else? Anyone else? मेरे पास list है. I need to print a list. What I should do now?
Property binding. Enter.
लूप्स यूज करेंगे.
तुम्हारे पास एक array है या list है. तुमने उसे print करना. तुम क्या चाहिए तुम्हारे को उसके लिए? What do you need basically?
लूप यूज करेंगे.
Loop use करेंगे. Right? We'll use loop. We'll use loop. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we say asterisk ng for equals to let user is an iterator of users. No, sorry. What is our user list? Correct. And then we print the table data. Say user dot
Dot name.
yes. Now let's print. Let's start. So our command should be ng serve Yeah, we'll start it. It is working on this port. See, it is printing. It is printing the name, it is printing the phone number, it is printing email, it is printing address. Do you see that or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's how basically your service works. Now let's do one more thing. Let's create once again. Let's create a form here. Okay. So I'm putting a HR line. Okay. And creating a new form. So not form. I mean, I give you some controls because I will be taking a separate session for creating forms validation. Maybe next session, forms validation will play with. As of now, I'm just taking a simple controls. So just I'm arranging it in a better way. So say table, then tr. I say tr. First tr will say name, and second td should have the input text box. Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Again,
Yes, sir.
second row, it says phone number, and next row should be a text box. Then again you should have email text box. Just keeping it very simple. And similarly address. For address, you should have text area instead of text box. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So saved. Let's see the output. Yeah, so form is there. Now what I want is the moment I add some data to it, it should get added at the end. Okay. Again, this logic, my service should handle. Got a point? My service should handle this logic. And finally, I should be having a button. To TTON button. Very simple. And on the button, I say submit. Or add user. Hmm? And what I need over here on button, what I
Sir,
need here,
click event binding.
I need event binding here. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
I need event binding here. Click event, click directive, in fact, which will work over. Click is a directive which will give you on click functionality. So I say add user, right? But add user function should have all the form controls value. Am I right or no? Add user function should have the value of each and every control. Correct, team? Otherwise, what is the use of the event? As of now, these are pure HTML controls, and there is no mechanism. There's no mechanism to pass value from the from HTML to code behind file. So let's see how we can make it dynamic. So there is a template variable or hash variable, we call it. Hash, I say hash what? Hash name. It's a very strong, attribute over here, or you can say, I mean, this hash variable, template variable is a very strong variable. It gives you the complete control. Once you stick this to any of the control, it will give you the entire control. And then you can do anything with that control. The name is in your hand. You can put any name to it. Okay. Now you can take the value dynamically, right? How? You say name. Name is a text box. Text box has what? Text box has value attribute, correct? So value, as I said, once you stick this hash variable or template variable with your control, you can do anything with that control. So I'm just taking the value from the control. So name dot value, right? What else? Phone dot value, phone number, phone number is also text box. So value. Then email dot value. Agree? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Address dot value. Correct. So you have passed all the values over here. Got a point?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Now this is what we have achieved here. What is this?
Event binding.
This is event bind. Okay. Now we have event, click event, but where we have binded it? It's just an HTML. So we need to go to our class code behind file, right? Define that function. This function is expecting what? This function is expecting name, right? This function is expecting phone number, string type. This function is expecting email. This function is expecting,
Address.
is the sequence correct? Name, phone, email, address, name, phone, email address. Yeah. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I need to pass this to my service. Now I need to pass this to my service. So I am holding it over here and calling my service. Calling my service. In this service, I will create one more method. Say get user, set user, set user, add user, whatever. Here, what I'm going to do is I say this dot my user list dot push. Push what? Push the data that I'm getting from, right? I should say user object with the right naming convention, user object. So whatever user object is passed from the component, I'm going to push it in my users array. Right, team? And let me reduce it from 10 to 5. Team, is it clear to you or not? So I have one function get user in the service, which is going to return all the users to you. There's one more function in the service, one more business logic in the service, which is going to add a new user to your users list. Is that understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, is it clear to all of you or no?
Yes, sir.
On team, which part is not clear to you? Speak up. Hello. Hello. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So now let me create a local object. Go on mute, please. Let me create a local object, local variable. Sorry. Let user equals to, which is of any type. Let user equals to, because the type of the object should be, should be exactly the same, like this. So name should be NA. Agree? Number is PH. Team agree or not? Email
Yes, sir.
and address is ADDR. So whatever, I got it from my HTML, from my front end, correct? All these I have passed to my object. And what I will be doing now? Very simple. I will call my service dot service function, set user, and I will pass user object there. So when I pass the user object here, now what is going to happen? My set user is going to get called, right? And this user object, which I pass user over here, that will go there and will get added into user array. Did you understand this or not? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Every one of you? Every one of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then it should work also. Let's see, will it work or not? So I am saying, let's say Naveed. This is the phone number. This is the email. This is the address. I say add user. Brilliant. It is adding. Let's take another one. Say phone number, email, address. It's working, right? It is working. So now you see what your component is doing. It is only taking the information and passing it to service, and all your business logic, correct, is been handled by your service team. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
I would say if possible, I would say instead of creating this object, this also you move it to service. This also you move it to service. Let me show you how. So whatever you got like this, you pass it on to your service method. Say NA, PH, EL, EDDR. Okay, pass it on to your service. Now in your service, instead of expecting an object, you're expecting these things. Do you agree or not? That's it. I would say this logic also you move it to a service method. Let your service create object or array or whatever. Team understood or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. See, now your component is absolutely clean. Agree? Absolutely clean. Okay. All good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what I will do now is um, do you want, you know, something other, I mean, some other thing also, or this is good enough? I mean, do you want to extend it or is it good enough for today?
No,
Hello.
sir, we will practice.
Hmm?
Sir, we will practice for this and then
Okay. Let me tell you one
start.
thing. If you guys don't practice it by today or tomorrow, right? And I did not get any assignment back from your side. Trust me, I'm not going to take the next session. You got my point? So if you're saying that you're going to
Yes,
practice,
sir.
correct? Then make sure you practice and send me the assignment today or by tomorrow, max. Right? If you
Okay.
don't, then I will not take next session. Very simple. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Because this is a very,
Okay,
very,
sir.
very good information that I've given it to you. This is actually in real-time projects we work. This is exactly how in real-time project we work. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's it from my side. What I will do is I will again, host the recording. Correct? And you can practice from there. In next session, our objective would be to either we will, either we will check the smart components. Okay, what are smart components, nested components, or we'll take, form validation, form validation. Okay, any one of it. Either we will take what are smart component, nested components, or we will go by the form validation. Okay, team.
Okay, sir.
Bye then. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.